Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick. Hold on, I think we're having some issues here, but Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
Oh, you know, the usual. I'm back to Tito's cranberry and orange juice. Mr. Nick, I need you to tell me what we're drinking, you're drinking, and our three things for this show.
We're not drinking the same things, thankfully. Mr. Nick is having his red wine, as per usual, Seven Oaks Cabernet. Well, this evening, Rhea Ripley has challenged Liv Morgan. MJF wins the international title, and we have another Wyatt Sicks VHS coming your way. It's Friday, July 19th, 2024. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Welcome back in, everybody. Again, happy Friday. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. If you're new here, we love having you. Hit the old like and subscribe button. If you're a regular, we love having you back. So, Nikki, we kick off the show with another Wyatt Sicks VHS. This time, it's about Eric Rowan. Let's catch you up and get it started. We start with our good old friend, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, and the Wyatt Sicks. Nikki, take us how we got here.
I want to slightly backpedal a little bit, and maybe a little bit more. This was an incredible episode of Raw. I think there was threads throughout, and I think this is one of the best Raws we've seen in a while. And your video really complements that. There's two kind of simultaneous Howdy, Bo, family, Chad Gable storylines. Because you kind of have Chad Gable starting off kind of this segment of the show, confronting Pierce, saying he cracked the code, he got it. He knows that Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy, and everyone's like, yeah. So he was like, I know you had a meeting with him. What disciplinary stuff is happening? And he was basically like, well, Bo's here, so if you want to talk to him, like, Bo talk to him. He's like, all right, I'll just do everything myself. And then there's a later segment that you see the Alpha Academy, Maxine, Otis, and Tozawa, who are no longer wearing their academy clothes. You know, Maxine's in normal clothes, Tozawa's in a plain t-shirt, and Otis is back to wearing kind of when he was with like Otis and Tucky, that he had like that blue collar style kind of shirt going on. So they were kind of talking. He's like, oh, yeah, you're coming back with me. Like, you're my family. And they're like, we're not talking about you. We're talking about Woods. And then he was just kind of like, oh, you can't be serious. And then he like kind of like stormed off. So that's kind of how the beginning part of when we get to Chad confronting Bo. And then later in the night, they show a clip of the Pat McAfee show where, you know, the kind of lights go out and his people are like, oh, who's that woman? Blah, blah, blah.
Which I love how they incorporate Pat's show because it's more mainstream than anything else. So
yeah, he was on, again, I don't know most ESPN people, but apparently he was talking to like some analyst or journalist or whatever.
Yeah, not Ian Rappaport.
No, I know that.
No. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name. But because Michael Cole makes fun of him at the end too.
Yeah,
he's really on top of it.
He was like sitting in his car. It's like it's not just like his goons that are kind of like in on it. So it's like someone kind of outside, which I think makes sense, but he goes kind of into the middle of the studio, and of course there's a box, and he's like, "Oh, this is a video. It's the video." So then they go back to Cole, Pat, and then they have another video. And boy, I watched it, 3 times? Cried every time. Kids, get your tissues. Let me scroll down to my notes. Video. All right, so.
Eric Rowan. We open with Eric Rowan, who, honestly, thinking about this, should have been, he has to be the first person to be characterized in these whole, vignettes, because he was the first. He's kind of the first follower to Bray, even.
Yep.
Even though there was that guy Eli Cottonwood that was around for a little bit, but
yeah,
we're not forget about it. And that's what I love about
universe.
like giving him the spotlight, and like with everything that he's been through, which you'll get into.
Yeah, and also like, I'm gonna go to the video, but like this is so powerful, and like his speaking voice, like he was so articulate and spoke so well. I'm like, he never got the time of day to talk, because obviously you're with Bray Wyatt, who was so like a good orator, like so well at talking. But like him, I was like, oh my god, like give this, like let him do some more promos. But let's get into it. So of course this starts with Uncle Howdy. Have you been? And he's like, not gonna lie, the last few years have been very, very hard. I used to have a family. We were unstoppable, inseparable. Always had each other backs. And then one day, the world changed. I lost a brother. The person in the world who believed in me more than anybody else, just gone. Knocked me on my ass. Not gonna lie. But those situations, you get up, you dust yourself off, and you keep moving. And then Uncle Hattie voice goes, life goes on.
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah. I rewatched it.
Yeah.
This is why I take lots of notes, kids. But then Uncle Hattie voice goes, life moves on. And then it goes, and he's like, just when I think I have everything going again, my other brother, and then he kind of breaks down a little bit. He's like, he's gone too, and now I have no more family, no more will. I fell down a well. I couldn't get out. I didn't want to get out. Why? Why would I want to get out? I felt catatonic, couldn't move, felt numb to everything, numb to the world. Who's going to miss me? I'm just Rowan. And I was like, oh, sweet baby. Like, again, like Brody and Bray were like the bigger characters, the bigger voices. And like Brody went to AEW and did so much. And like Bray. And then he's just like, I'm just Rowan. And I was like, it hurt. It hurt so much. And then did some more little spooky stuff. And then he's holding the original sheet mask that he wore. And he goes, then Uncle Hattie's like, how does this make you feel? And then it kind of flips it. And he's like,
Lisa, such a powerful segment from Rowan.
So powerful. And then it kind of flips. He's like, oh, this gives me hope. When I was at my lowest, he reached out and pulled me up. When I saw a hand, I accepted it because I knew I needed help. And then Uncle Hattie's voice goes, help. He's like, I got up and then gave me a purpose in my life. A purpose to help others, to help people like me. And he's like looking at the mask. He's like, this is a reminder, the beacon of hope. We're going to take our broken hearts and make them beautiful art. And I was like, oh, like so many feels about how they're making this so real. And again, I feel like there's nothing taking away from, Bo, but like fucking Rowan lost his two friends, and it's just like, it's so hard. And it's just like, I just felt like that was so emotional and so real, and you felt it. And I'm so glad they're using the realness of this, but in like a great way. And it kind of, at the end of it, Pat McAfee was like, this Wyatt Sicks stuff is so deep. And coming from McAfee, but like, to me, it's chef's kiss. I love what they're doing. He should have been the first one, and just how powerful it was.
Yeah, because he was always known as, I think he was the run guy. He was right? Like the run, like with the mask, was always him at the end in the beginning. So he never really had the opportunity to, kind of to your point, like talk or show off his more, like the character himself. Like even like later on, like when he was the singles guy, they didn't even give him that opportunity because he had some weird gimmick.
Oh yeah, when he had that weird thing in the it was supposed to be like the fighter and the crate thingy, and then whoever squished it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It was a tarantula. But it was like a
You didn't know what it was, and people were like freaking out, and then someone squashed it. Was it Elias? That doesn't sound.
No, Braun Strowman, I think did.
No, it wasn't Strowman. I don't think he fought. Someone tell me in the comments about that. But then he was running around with Daniel Bryan for a while.
Yeah.
And that would
I liked him in that whole.
Yeah, but then they got weird. It was like who attacked Roman. They had like the other weird ginger guy for a second, and it just kind of got stupid at the end.
I don't remember that one.
And there was like who was attacking Roman Reigns backstage, and they're like, "We know it's Rowan. It's a guy in a ginger bear."
Yeah.
Anywho,
digress. So brings us on
to
later in the evening.
Back to Chad Gable. So, like Gable said to Pierce, like he's gonna come out, he's gonna call out Bo. So he goes out there, and then immediately he starts the "You Suck" chants. And he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, yet another display of my seemingly endless intellect. I have solved what will go down as the greatest mystery ever in WWE. I'm here to announce the true identity of Uncle Howdy is in fact no other than Bo Dallas." And then Michael Cole on commentary goes, "Duh."
I love like how like
delusional.
Yeah, the self-inflated self-worth Chad Gable. Like to me that's so he's just so entertaining.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, he moves on with the solving of the
he's like
riddle.
"Master Gable cracked the code. After everything you freaks did, why don't you come out here and we'll solve this little problem?" So then, kind of without hesitation, kind of Bo Dallas kind of just walks out. No music, no nothing. He kind of looks like his B-Team kind of outfit, but without the B-Team shirt, the Wyatt shirt.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Like my Wyatt Sicks t-shirt. Like I don't know. It just. It's just kind of like that's it, but it doesn't seem like a Bray Bo thing, but I guess we're still trying to.
Bray always wore his own shirts though.
He did but after a while, like not as he's like reintroducing a darker character. I don't know. It's just.
But maybe this is just Bo Dallas, and like Uncle Howdy would never wear a Wyatt shirt, but like Bo Dallas, is sweet as a little pickle.
I guess so.
But anywho, so he walks out and immediately gets attacked by the Creed brothers.
A couple people chiming in.
Ooh,
Bobby Midnight says hi.
Hi, Bobby.
Tyler Stewart says hi. Hi, Tyler.
Hey.
We got Lisa's comment in there.
And Lisa, I love you.
Okay, so
then the Creed attack in ill-fitting suits. I'm like, I don't know why they were.
Well, he's got.
The one
the gold.
Julius, who was supposed to be like their next, coming. Looks terrible.
Which one's Julius? Is he the gold?
The skinny one.
Yeah,
in the gold.
Yeah.
Brutus is the more the brute one.
Which someone needs to tell me because I haven't watched. Well, I feel like we haven't seen them win enough. Is this their finisher? This fireman carry, knee to the head combination? Because I really don't know.
But they come out throw him into.
They don't really like it as a finisher. I'll say that. I like it as like a decent.
But I feel like it's not their thing because usually Brutus does the this cannon, the brute, whatever they call it, the Brutus bomb, the brute bomb, whatever. When he does the cannonball off the top rope.
I don't know. I feel like I've never seen. I feel like they're so good, but I've never seen.
You're
them
in love with Ivy. Ivy Niles, but you don't know her boys' moves.
Well, or hers either, because she doesn't win either, so you never really see.
Looking at her.
Wish she did the suplex.
But they throw him in the barricade. He gets thrown into the ring post, and then they throw him into the ring at Gable's feet. And then he holds up their hands like, "No, these are my guys." And then Bo Dallas starts laughing like. I know Bray. I don't know if he's trying to emulate how Bray used to laugh like that.
Yes,
but to me, it sounds more like he's trying to be Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I'm not mad at it. I just feel like if he needs to find something in between, like not trying to be the Bray laugh and not trying to sound like the Joker. You gotta find. There's gotta be a new laugh in there somewhere.
I don't know. I think that laugh, it fits. It's the Bray laugh. So I don't mind, like, if he's emulating that and he's using the, well, either the yeah.
I'm not there yet. I cheered for that.
All right.
So he starts laughing. Chad's like, "What's so funny?" Kicks him in the gut. Then the Creed hold him and he starts giving him forearms in the face, and he just continues to laugh. And then the Creeds do whatever that fireman whoozy whatsies. Then he hits him with then Chad suplexes him, and he kind of rolls into the ring, and he's like, right, what Nick has, and he's just like, laughing and smiling, and he does the yeah, and like, right. And then the crowd starts chanting, "You still suck, you still suck." And then Gable gets into his face. He's like, "What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?" And then Bo goes, "There you are."
Which is his cue, I guess, his cue for turning. I don't know, or help.
I don't know. So we talked about like last week that in the videos between Bo and Howdy, Howdy says, "There you are" to Bo when he starts getting angry. So is he saying it to Chad because Chad's screaming in his face? And he's like, "Oh, there." Like, is he encouraging people that, like, there you are when you get angry? But anyway, there you are. Lights go out. Crowd starts chanting, "You fucked up." Fireflies come out. Piano music, the smoke, and then I don't know if we've seen this before, but I feel like it was more lightningy, like strobe lighty in the ring than usual. That could have just been me. It felt a little more.
Well, no, they always have like a strobe, but I think that was to just create the reaction that was eventually going to happen with later with the Gables and the Gable boys, the Gable stable boys.
So then, of course, you see that circle light that you always see, and then you see Nikki Abbey first walk out, and she's holding the lantern, and then the three men kind of surround her, and they of course have to pose on the ramp, and then they walk down, and like Nikki's kind of leading them with the lantern, and I love when they're walking, like Joe Gacy does this creepy, like kind of hunched over, and he's like leaning into like Nikki Abbey on this like wall.
So I have feelings about this. Okay. So that he actually, well, not feelings, but thoughts on it.
Okay.
So it's actually the Harper walk. The Luke Harper walk. So it's actually, he channeled, like, early on, Harper used to, when he came out with the Wyatts, he used to walk like that. And he used to like be kind of hunched over and work and moving like that when Bray used to come out. So like that was it's the Wyatt, really. like he used to do it, but Harper was the one who used to do a lot of that.
I don't know, I liked it. Did you not like it?
No, I liked it a lot. That's why, because it's another, like, each character, what I enjoy so far, and I think we'll see more of it, is each character is taking a nuance from the past of Bray and Bo, or Bray and the followers, and making it their own.
Brody, Harper.
Yeah, and the initial family, and making it their own.
Yeah. So then the boys get up onto the apron, and of course Chad Gable bails immediately, and then quickly right after, I think once the Creeds realize that Chad dipped, they dipped. And then Bo kind of crawls into the middle of the ring. Abby Nikki puts the lantern down in front of him, and he's doing the laugh. And then I was like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? And then he stood up and did Bray's pose when he's on his knees with his arms open, and then the family's just around him.
Which he made it so good because he sells so well from all his years of being in the P team and losing. Like, he's learned such a mastery of selling this beating that when he crawls to the lantern, like this shot is so impactful. Like it works out so nicely that we're like, yep, is he gonna do it? And it's like, but it's also like he's so beat up that he falls to his knee. Like, it's natural versus,
yeah,
like,
it looked real good. I don't know. Like the mask looks so, like, they just look so good. I don't know. I'm here for it. I'm happy about it. I want to see more.
So
I'm still loving it after all these weeks. I'm still here for it.
So now it begs the question I ask you and all our listeners here now: are we headed towards a six-man tag match between the Wyatt Sicks and the Gable stable boys, the Creed brothers? Assuming the Creed brothers are now his new backup.
I see. I don't know. I was very much, me in singles matches. I thought it'd be, Bo Gable, but I think right before we went live, you brought up that wonder. I don't know when to steal your thunder, but about how Bray didn't always wrestle, that he would watch Luke and Rowan wrestle.
Yeah, I like the idea of like him having the father. Like he took this beating as a martyr for the cause, and then I feel like it was part of him like proving himself to them as a leader. Like I'm willing to take this beating or whatever, and like just come up and back. And now moving forward, yeah, like their loyalty to him. Like you've kind of seen that already, where Rowan basically says in that video, like you reached out to me, and he reached out with a hand. Like I feel like he's reaching out to him as well, and now they're all accepting Bo for various reasons as their new, I don't say savior, I guess. So it would be nice because again, like you have Gacy, you have Dexter who can wrestle. Like it'd be interesting to see for them to all come together and get the rub from this and be the ones that they're doing the work. And you don't need Bo to be in the ring, like let him just sit back and until it's time for someone to earn his respect, for a match.
No, I like that a lot.
Like Gable, like I think Gable will get his opportunity at him, but not through this, 6-man tag.
So I think also with the 6-man tag, you kind of maybe they do want to get more people on the pay-per-view, and this would be like the big, because apparently a lot of people are high on the Creed brothers, especially Julius, that maybe let's get the 6-man tag in. And then like again, I rather see like Loomis and Gacy, because I also, before we went on, I was like, I know Gacy's promos and the schism and all that stuff. I don't remember his wrestling stuff. And
I think he was similar to Bray's, like just like he was not as athletic as Bray, but similar. Like he was a little bit heftier. Now he's lost a lot of weight too. He wasn't like anything special, right? But he's all right.
My concern is, I think like NXT Bo wrestled his booty off. I'm worried that then you had Outcast Bo and then B Team Bo that like, and then you kind of have Loomis and Rowan. Like I don't know if there's not enough variety. Like with Luke and Rowan, like Brody was a great wrestler. He's a quick big man. And I guess you can say the same thing about Loomis. Like I'm just really interested to see those three wrestle on Maine.
Yeah.
So I you know me, I'm team.
Because Loomis had one match, Gacy hasn't.
Yeah, and Loomis had that stupid thing with the Miz and whatever, and it's like I would rather see those three versus the Gable stable, and then have Bo and Nikki on the outside.
Yeah. You
completely changed my mind, babe. Look at us agreeing on stuff.
Yeah, look at that. So, well, I guess that kind of answers the question: who will represent the Wyatt Sicks at SummerSlam? Because I'd be interested to see, what happens with that, and then does Nikki Cross get involved? Because if presumably, the Creeds are involved, is Ivy Nile involved, and is that its own? Yeah, like, it'd be interesting.
I don't know.
What's up, David?
Hey.
Welcome in. We're talking right now. We're talking about Eric Rowan's, the VHS, the Wyatt Sicks. But let us know what you're thinking.
But I think that maybe with Rowan's, I kind of set up what the format would be for the other ones, like saying, because when they did not when they took over. Oh, David, we are getting there, my friend. We will get there. We have a few more topics to get through, but we have.
David's excited for
I
the
have
Liv.
so many notes.
Yeah. Bear with us. Stay along for the ride. The show continues.
That's our
if you want, David, and as people are coming in, this is a call-in show, so feel free to keep the StreamYard link in the description there if you want to call in, but you can always write in as we go, and let us know your thoughts.
Do you want to move into our second topic?
Yeah. I think overall, yeah, we've kind of, our feelings on this if you've watched this show before, and there's going to be more on this coming, so we're excited. So we move into the mid-card, but lack thereof. Big fan. MJF is the new international champion after a near hour, well, basically an hour, Iron Man type match with Will Ospreay. MJF is now the new international champion. So, Nikki, take us thoughts. How we got there?
Oh god.
This is
I watched this live, of course, and then you came upstairs about 8:45, and you're like, "What did I miss?" I'm like, "Nothing." MJF and Ospreay are wrestling. You're like, now? I'm like, still.
Well, first off, I didn't. Again, I might be getting ahead. Well, maybe we could start with this because I'm going to throw this question out there right at the gate. Like, should this have been saved for a pay-per-view right out the gate? I know it's AEW Dynamite 250, but this is the two biggest names in AEW right now, right? I mean, Swerve's up there, but I don't think you could argue Ospreay's on the same level as Swerve right now. Who's bigger than these two guys? This should have been a pay-per-view match, and they delivered a pay-per-view worthy match, which we will get to because that is a hot topic. But Nikki, sorry, I cut you off.
No, and I am going to, because I feel like people want to go more WWE. I'm not going to read all my notes because Nick will yell at me, but there's certain spots I just want to call out because, again, this match was, I think match of the year contender. I think you forget how good MJF is in the ring, how liquid, how good this match was. It wasn't, I felt like there wasn't like a slog point. It was just like sprint, go. And I'll go quick. So I love the beginning sequence because it's MJF being MJF and whatever sequence real quick. And then he does his strut and he does the Rick Rude now. And then basically 2 seconds later, Ospreay tosses him and then he does this very robotic, awkward strut and this really awkward Rick Rude. And I was like, chef kiss, love that. Again, liquid. Let me.
They are, yeah. Like the fact that they're both so athletic and they can do, yeah, you use the term liquid, like, but they can do variations and combinations of chain wrestling that keeps their matches so interesting. And you started to see that even later in the match.
Yes. So it's like so many reverses. It was like the heat seeker into a cutter, and there's a tombstone into the Styles Clash, and there's something into a Slumdog Millionaire. There's so much of like, I know you, and then like pulling out other people's stuff, like the springboards. It's really, really good. And then Ospreay did this beautiful handspring when he leaped out of the ring and landed on MJF. Excalibur called it something, I don't know, but he did the beautiful spring, like the not springboard, like what the girls do, the handspring when he do the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the handsprings, things, kicks.
Yeah. So MJF does the pile driver and then he goes into the camera and does the Daniel Garcia dance. He's like, that's what a real pile driver looks like. The figure 4 sequence. I love the double clothesline spot. Again, MJF tried to do the tiger driver and Ospreay turned into Slumdog. And then they're on the apron and he goes to hit the cutter and Maxwell just fell over to miss it. Cracked me up. Again, when they go into the crowd and Ospreay has that little girl slap MJF, and I was like, oh, it's funny, but like, ooh.
Did not like that.
I did not like that spot. I know a lot of people were like, oh, it was funny as a little girl, and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. And then he puts MJF in the trash can, and then another handstand rope thingy. It was good, and he throws a
Which I just don't understand. This is what I didn't like, because I asked you this mid-match. I was like, is this a singles match? Like, is this no disqualification? And you're like, no.
No, so they just kept saying it was like referee's discretion, like Remsburg is letting this happen.
Yeah, like, I don't know. That's what drove me crazy. Is that, like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know.
They had
there's a lot of extra. Make it no DQ.
Ospreay set up the table. They roll off the table. They did the first Hurricane Rana spots that were great. I wrote Long Island Sunrise. Will's fall into the pin and the kick out was chef kiss. I do love that move so much that I love that he calls it a Long Island Sunrise, which is fun. Get another cutter off the barricade. 1 point, I'm going quick. Ospreay hits the crossroads and looks into the camera and winks. And apparently, in an interview, Cody said he started doing the Cody cutter because of Ospreay. So I think there's a cheeky nod, like, you're doing my move, I'm going to do yours.
Hmm.
And then I don't know what it's called. MJF's doing the DDT, but like Ospreay's kind of like doing like the front piggyback. Like he's like they're like face to face, but like Ospreay's like knees are on him and he just falls backwards.
I
don't know, but that was fun. Max did the lariat off the top rope, all the crazy, the tomb, but you just had that picture up. They do this crazy back and forth. They're each trying to hit a tombstone on the apron. Undertaker also must be rolling his grave. How many tombstones were done in this match? Well, but then he turned the tombstone into the Styles Clash on the apron, which is incredible. Then they had the commercial break, and you see Dr. Samson reset Will's shoulder, and you just see him like, and you're just like, oh god. And then the rest of the match, like MJF just targets it.
Which, I mean, does he ever use the armbar anymore? The Fujiwara, like that's his
the salt of the earth.
Yeah, like.
That's the thing. He didn't hit that, and it took him a very long time to hit the Heat Seeker. We're at the last stretch of the match because it starts to get crazy. So at one point, MJF is out. I guess he rolled out of the ring and he's like walking up the ramp and he's like, "That's why I'm the smartest wrestler in the." And Will Ospreay flies through the middle ropes and hit him with his hidden blade. And actually, Tony Khan got a shot. So you're looking at MJF on the ramp is when he's walking up the ramp. And he just hits him. Chef's kiss, beautiful. Then he finally.
Hi, CWM. Welcome in.
Hey.
We're talking MJF. MJF Will Ospreay.
Then it goes to another Hurricane Run. Tries to do another Hurricane Run spot, and that's when he hits. Ospreay hits the Avalanche top rope Styles Clash. And then, of course, he's trying to grab MJF. He's too close to the ropes. Out. Then MJF finally hits the Heat Seeker, and that's what gets Will Ospreay out on the outside. He puts on the table. He hits that amazing elbow drop, and everyone's like, "Oh, I can't believe he did that," because that's the move that got him injured and why he was out for so long. And then at this point, we're at 55 minutes. 55 minutes into this match. And they do what I love, but for them doing this 55 minutes in, when they do that pinning combination and both people bridge up, when one's on top of the other and then they're holding and they do bridge. 55 minutes. You did a 55
minutes. Yeah, like a lot of chain wrestling to do that. To do that late in the match and to have 50 minutes in to still do that and to be able to do the bridge, you have to be in tremendous cardio.
Incredible. Then MJF calls for the kangaroo kick. Ospreay turns that into a catapult thing. Then they do this crazy spot on the corner. Ospreay hits him with the cheeky Nando's. Then he does a Hurricane Rana off. MJF lands on his feet, goes up, hits the lariat, then humps Will Ospreay's face. He does a Hurricane Rana. Will lands on his feet.
It just, again, further proof of their athleticism and their ability. This late in the match, and again, like kind of to your point earlier, MJF doesn't get enough credit on his athleticism in the ring. Like, we know Will Ospreay does this stuff on a daily basis, and we kind of get desensitized from it. But MJF is one of the best wrestlers in the world. He says it himself, but it's true.
So basically, then they do more flippy shit. MJF tries to do a brainbuster. That gets turned into a Slumdog Millionaire. They hit that janky Spanish fly, kick out. Ospreay hits the cutter, the hidden blade, kick out. Max ducks a hidden blade. Then this is where shit hits the fan. He gets him up. Ospreay gets Max up to do the Tiger Driver, but he's up, and then for second match in a row, he doesn't want to hit the Tiger Driver, and he puts Max down. Max gets up, shoves Will into the ref. Remsburg goes down. He pulls out the Dynamite Diamond Ring, hits Will. Will goes down. Remsburg magically wakes up. 1, 2, 3 at 58 minutes and whatever, and your new international champion.
So basically, Ospreay's remorse costs him his international title again. So or cost him because isn't this the reason that he left the oh my god, the family, what family?
He left Don Callis'
show.
Well, because he didn't hit it at Forbidden Door, he wouldn't hit it on Swerve. So he didn't win the belt off Swerve. And now this is the second match that he didn't hit it and lost the belt.
Right. Yeah, so
is this a slow breakdown kind of Ospreay
becoming a heel? Yeah, it could very well be. The other question is, you talked about this earlier. Was this match of the year?
I know a lot of people aren't that into AEW. I love this match. I'm wearing my Bruv shirt. I don't know, match of the year for me, but so far there's a lot of year to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the women's matches have been really, really good on the WWE side. I'm trying to think of what stands out off the top of my head. I mean, well, no, because WrestleMania, the main event, still, I think the theatrics of it and everything else. Different type. I know, different types.
I literally wrote in because Ed and I didn't mean to cut you off, but Ed and I have this debate of how WWE is so storyline and so beautiful, and I promise you, my kids, we are gonna get to Liv and Dom and Rhea. That is our final and next topic, I promise. But sometimes I just want to see a match, and then sometimes I just want story. So I feel like watching Raw and had the beautiful stuff with Rowan and Uncle Howdy and the Wyatts, and then you have this amazing, amazing story that they're doing with Rhea and John and the Judgment Day, and then just this little nugget of just let me see 58 minutes fucking liquid wrestling, and not liquid wrestling of them putting them each other in a trash can and throwing them up the ramp and having this little girl do this. Like that's why I think with me as a wrestling fan, I love it all. I want to see everything. I want to see story. So, and sometimes I just want to see a match. And last or Wednesday night when I watch this is what I do.
I don't know. I think you got both of that with the Cody match. But I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. Do you think this was match of the year so far? If you do, hit the like button. If you think Cody's match was better, hit the like button. Moral of the story, hit the like button. And subscribe if you're new. But yeah, I don't know. I think we differ on it, but we'll see. We'll see. So, Nikki, are you ready for the main event?
Are you ready?
Yeah. But we get into our main event. Who doesn't love some Liv Morgan? Who doesn't love some Rhea Ripley? Who doesn't love blondes and brunettes? Nobody. So let's get into it. Rhea Ripley is challenging Liv Morgan at SummerSlam for the Women's World Heavyweight title. Ladies and gentlemen, our main event, the ladies. Who doesn't love the ladies? We love the ladies on this show. Let's get to it. Rhea Ripley opens Raw. Nikki?
I said this at the top if you weren't with us. I think this is one of the best Raws that we've had in a while. And I think they opened it with the saga recap of what's been going on. And then they opened the elevator's door open, and then there's Rhea Ripley, and there's this incredible shot of her like walking through the backstage through Gorilla to the ring, and she's just like, it's her like sort of flirting with the camera and then like getting mad at the camera, and then she's like, come here, camera, and then like, they walk out. I just love that Triple H has been doing these incredible like long take shots, and I think
are they called pan shots? I don't know. It sounds like pan.
No, pan isn't that more like a 360 thing?
Yeah, I think
it's a long. Again, someone Ed probably knows it. I think it's a long shot. I haven't taken film class in 100 years, but anywho, we digress. So she walks into the ring and she's like, "Mommy's home," and Liv is Tracking shot, Steven! Thank you. Beautiful. Steven! Tracking shots, kids. You learn something every day.
Film buff gets it.
So she says, Mommy's home and Liv is walking around with something of mine, and it's not Dom Mysterio. I will handle him later.
Which she actually was wearing a top that reminds you of China.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I think everything she basically wears now is kind of inspired by. But yeah, definitely with the spikes and the ties in the back, and then she kind of made it her style with they kind of open, and like her button and her zipper were down. And like these kind of more, I know.
We're revealing we are no longer PG. We're going towards the Netflix area.
Lady, they're like the Gen Z people that wear like like we were skinny jeans, and now their pants are like
going towards the sex flicks era.
Yeah. So she's walking around with something I never lost, and that's the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. You think you took me out, but you really just pissed me off. Now Liv, come out. So she's like, so I can rip you apart, I believe. But instead, of course, Dom comes out, major boos. He comes out with a black rose, and he called Rhea, I believe this is the first time he called her Mamacita.
Yeah, it's all callbacks to the Eddie Guerrero China, which I just remember I had to rewatch it, but was it a blonde? Was it Trish?
I think it
was the other person in the storyline. I have to look it back up, but it's just interesting.
I think it is. So he comes out, he calls her Mamacita, and the crowd goes with thunderous boos. And then, like what you have, she turns her back. Like, no. And then, of course, on cue, Liv pops up on screen, and she apologizes for her voice because she's been so busy and had a long weekend in Mexico, and she's known to be a screamer. Hi, Dirty Dom. And it's like, oh.
And I just love how he just like always looks back and like, it's not what it seems. It's like, bro, you know you're not getting laid. Like everyone in the arena knows you're not.
Well, you don't know, because then Liv goes on to saying that she's like, I think you know by now, I meant it when I said I wanted to take everything from you, and that includes Dom. And she's like, at first, I really didn't know what you saw in him. Like, I was confused. But then I got to spend time with him. And I got to look into his eyes, and I got to kiss him. And it became very, very, very real for me. More real than you guys ever had. And since you've been gone, I've had him all to myself. So Mommy is finally home, but Liv is finally on top.
Yeah, and I like how she opens and she's like, how's your shoulder doing? I hope it's well. Mine's okay because I've been holding the belt. Like
because of this, and she kisses it.
Yeah, it's such a nice little callback. She did and it's like the manipulative work in the promo. It's such like, oh, like like I've done so much for him while like you've taken Dom for granted this whole time, and it starts to, and maybe I'm jumping a little. Huh?
Okay.
But yeah, okay, go ahead.
No, it's fine. So then it goes to Rhea, and then Rhea's just staring kind of like at not like, Dom's staring at her, and she's doing this. So she's like, I knew you'd be too scared to come to the ring, because once you get in the ring with me, your revenge tour will be over. I waited 3 months. I think my patience can handle a little bit more. And she goes, SummerSlam, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And then Liv goes, she's like, well, I'm not the same Liv Morgan that you knew. She's like, I helped Dom beat his deadbeat dad, something you could never do. I'm going to finally beat you too. I accept. And oh, Dirty Dom, I hope to see you there. So it's like, and again, I think she is very much a different wrestler from the last time they wrestled.
Oh yeah, she's improved tremendously. And I think the idea too is that like, she's more cunning. And you can kind of like storyline right that like than she was before to use the situations that happen, like the steel chair being thrown in. That's how she won the belt. Like the opportunist. That was the whole edge thing. I can see it being a similar situation with her, and like she's smart. It's gonna be real interesting because again the question. Well, first off, I guess the question is this match at SummerSlam, should this have a stipulation? Aside from, obviously it's for the belt, but do we want to see Liv Rhea in a steel cage? I don't know.
I think
I'm throwing some. I don't know if there some, because again, this is a 3+ month feud building. Should this have something more serious than just a singles match, right? Like, could this be I said steel cage, could it be no disqualification? Could it be, I don't think it'd be like a ladder match type situation, but like a Dom on a pole match.
Honestly, well, again,
Dom is a special guest referee. Like,
custody of Dominic. How many years later? I know this has been the feud for 3 weeks. Again, I'm agreeing with Steven. Steven, you beat me to it. Steven! It's too early. Because this is like their first back into it and them first like wrestling again. Because again, Liv came back and they haven't really, when she came back at Royal Rumble, they haven't really done anything. And then Rhea was gone after Mania. I think it's too early to add a stip. I think there's going to be, again, this is going to be the impetus of the breakup of the Judgment Day. I think it doesn't need anything quite yet. And honestly, shout out to my birthday, Bad Blood. I think that's a match you put in. That would be a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, as the third, as the culmination.
Yeah, I think it's their first match in how long? Like, don't put a stip on it yet.
Okay, so then question 2 then becomes, does the Judgment Day get involved in this match at
all? Of course. I just
I'm like
sure
Finn, JD.
And then we got
aside from Dom,
1,000 more segments to go. But they're laying foundations. I think it's interesting to see where this goes. And there's a lot of little nuggets throughout the night to see who's gonna go where.
So go on. You have more nuggets.
I do. You cut off the one my nuggies. When she says after Liv accepts and she's like, "Oh, you're down. Hope to see you there." And then Rhea turns into camera and was like, Liv, I know you're still listening. SummerSlam, I'll end your revenge tour, end your title reign, I'm gonna end your career. And then like their music starts playing, but Rhea pulls a Liv and then she does the watch me like that Liv does, and I think Rhea Ripley has the most stunning eyes like ever. So when she's like watch me and she like blew the kiss and I was like, that, like I just feel like she like captured, like she's so captivating. And I was just like, you're throwing her. So I loved again. She goes and she goes, watch me, and I'm just like, get it, girl. I love her so much. I'm so glad she's back. But then afterwards, come back from commercial. After that promo, they try to get out of the ring. Dom tries to open the ropes for her, and she like just stares at him, and he's like, okay. And then she walks up, and then he hands her the rose, and she like throws it behind her, and they go off the ramp. They come back from commercial. And Dom is, of course, is following Rhea, like, let me explain, it's not what it looks like. She opens their clubhouse doors, and there's just black roses everywhere. And then she basically, like, slams the door in his face. And this is why I think where they're setting such stuff up with Priest, because this whole episode is Priest just laughing and egging on Dom. So he was just like, he's like, everything good? And Dom was like, not really. And Rhea opens the door and throws a vase and roses at them. And then Dom goes to Priest. He's like, maybe it's more complicated than that. And Priest just is like holding in his laugh. And they cut to the ring, which I really loved. Because then Sheamus goes, you're the doghouse fella. And then Cole goes, hell have no fury. And then Pat goes, like a mommy scorned. I was like, oh, you guys are so cute choreographing that. And then we're going to more, and then then we get to see Rhea interact with the rest of the Judgment Day, which we haven't seen yet. So it's kind of her and Priest in the front, and of course JD, Finn, and Carlito are playing 2K in the background. And then she was just basically like, I appreciate you keeping everyone together. Like, you have so much on your plate between Gunther and Strowman tonight. Like, do you need help up there? And he's like, no, I'm just handling my business. Don't worry about it. And then she goes, well, why is Carlito in our clubhouse? And he starts laughing. He's like, well, sort of a long story, but this guy. And of course, then Dom walks in to interrupt. And he's like, can I have a minute? And Priest is like, sure, but say less. And then this is when we found out that Dominic lied to the Judgment Day. And he's like, Mommy, I know I screwed up. I tried to call you all week. Please hear me out. And the whole time he's talking, Rhea's plucking the petals off the rose and throwing it at him. And then he was like, I was trying to get a hold of you all week. And she's like, all week? All week? She's like, I've been out for 3 months. When I was injured, I haven't heard from you. Were you just too busy running around with your little girlfriend? And she stormed off. So in previous weeks, Dom has told Priest that he's been talking to Rhea. And my computer's gonna die, so that's fun. So basically, Carlito comes up to him and he was like, she's angry, huh? Instead of like he's going like cool or not cool. So again, Dom's a dirty liar.
Hey, what's up, Hydro? Welcome in. We're talking Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan. Yeah, so okay, keep going.
There's more. Wait,
there's always a lot more with the Judgment Day. They run Monday Night Raw. They have every segment.
Just through this thread throughout the thing, and then again, this segment puts more on Priest and Dom, because Priest is walking down the hallway. He has that face-to-face with Gunther, and then Dom kind of pops out of nowhere. He's like, "Yo, why didn't you warn me about Mommy?" And Priest is like, "Warn you?
No bro code there."
He's like, "Warn you? I tried to, but you're a little too busy with Liv. I've given you advice, not my fault. You lied to me about communicating with Rhea and lied to me about ending it with Liv." And then Jay Uso, which I love, comes out and was like, tell me if it's true. Is it true? Is it true? Rhea Ripley single and ready to mingle because I'm ready to holler.
He's like, I love, and actually kind of like begs the question of like, in this whole like storyline situation.
Can you give me your charger?
They could try.
Or I can run upstairs real quick if you want to talk.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do that. Nikki learned a valuable lesson about bringing her charger in. So as we cut her out of this, we'll leave me here alone. But it brings up a nice question of where we go with this whole storyline in terms of. Oh, yeah, she's coming back down. Look at her, quick. But where do you all want to see this get? I just feel like the way that Dom's been playing this lost puppy character has just been so phenomenal that I don't know if he's better as a heel or face in this whole situation. But this storyline has like equal parts like drama, but like comedy that works out really nicely. As Nikki is back in, is she ready to go? She's ready to go.
Yeah, I just ran up and down the stairs because we have new lighting, and that new lighting is draining the battery on my laptop.
Yes. So, anyway, so as you're saying.
So Jay Uso is ready to holler at.
So Jay Uso, I'd like to see like this idea behind. Now my thought came back to me. It would be interesting to see Jay Uso with Rhea, or like Rhea just being stagged for a few weeks. You know, that tease is interesting because like she's. I know you hate to talk about face and heel, but like she's a face. She's a face now. Priest is quickly becoming a face.
Again, so the next part of it is definitely Priest egging on Dom. Because he's like, oh, I'm ready to holler. And Priest is like, I mean, maybe. What about yeet? And Dom goes, no yeet. Jay. Like, no yeet, like, stop it. And Jay's like, well, if you say mommy, tell her I said, hi, yeet. And then, like, walks off. And then Priest goes to Dom, like, hey, man, you went to prison, bro. Like, you can't let people talk to you like that. You gotta show
He goats him. He goats.
Oh, 100%, which I'm loving. And he's like, you gotta, show Jay Uso, Rhea Ripley belongs to you.
Which is, so that's the part about this that's interesting. Like, he's doing face tactics as a heelish group, right? Like Priest is goading Dom into matches, into things, like getting him to say and do stupid things.
Yeah.
And that it's interesting because like we don't know where this is going with Dom. Is Dom gonna end up with Liv? Is he gonna be with Rhea? Is he gonna be out on his own? Like I don't know. Like they're quickly turning Priestley into a face.
Which I love because he's like, go show them who Rhea belongs to. What do you knows damn well how Rhea acts. Like, mommy doesn't belong to anybody. So he's like just filling Dom's head with shit, and I was like, I'm loving the tension between them. So then he's like, I'm gonna go talk to Pierce, and like Dom runs off. And then another thing is again, back to the clubhouse, and it's Rhea talking to Finn, which I think is very important, and JD and his big head. So Finn goes, he's like, we want to address the elephant in the room. We do know Liv helped us win these. And Rhea's like, yeah, like, no worries. I know Liv was trying to play her games and didn't work. At the end of the day, I'm happy the tag titles are back where they belong, and now it's my turn to get my title back. And the whole time she's talking, like, Finn and JD are like, yeah, like, absolutely, like, exactly. So I don't have Finn, the way Finn said it, and he did this little, like, I don't trust Finn anymore.
You've been saying this all along that you think Finn's gonna
Finn and Liv, but he's just like, well, I know she made us help us win these.
What if there's like some dark horse in this whole storyline that
they wind up together? No, something didn't sit right with me about it.
Who winds up together? Liv and Dom?
No, Rhea and Finn. I don't know. I don't think Finn and Rhea are going to be. They're going to be at odds together. I don't like the way he said. Something about Finn this whole time.
Right, you want Finn out.
You know.
No Finn.
No Finn. And so then Dom comes in and he's like, I'm sorry to interrupt. He's like, Jey Uso was talking out of line about you, and I went to Pierce and I got a match. So make sure that no one talks to mommy like that. And Rhea goes, are you stupid? Why are you picking a fight with Jey? He's like, well, I can go cancel it. And she's like, why would you cancel it? Are you a coward? And he's like, well, I just wanted to show Jey and everyone that you're still my mommy and you belong to me. And then Rhea's like, eyebrow up, like, fucking excuse me, what? Like, what? Like, no. And then she just basically, like, walks off. And Dom's like, I didn't mean it like that. And then Carlito, of course, comes in. He's like, not cool. So
yeah, so he's basically saying, over the course of the evening, he's saying all the wrong things, doing all the wrong things, getting goaded into it because he's immature and stupid.
Yeah.
Classic Dom Mysterio.
So then we get to the match. Jey versus Dom. Dom attacks Jey when he's, like, doing his entrance and he's, like, eating on the top rope. Pat calls Dom a dirtbag for lying, which cracks me up. Quickly going through the match, like, Dom did hit the three amigos, missed the 619. Then he's, like, yelling at Jey, saying, like, she belongs to me, she belongs to me. And then, of course, Jey is on top of the rope to do the splash. And here comes Liv, pulls Dom out to save her little dirty Dom. Or Daddy Dom, sorry, Daddy Dom. And basically, he's like, what are you doing? You gotta get out of here, you gotta leave me alone. And, of course, Jey drop kicks Dom. He falls onto Liv. Liv does this beautiful roll, straddles him. Then she's like, of course, feeling him up. And then she goes down for the kiss. And of course, This Is My Brutality starts playing. Liv runs off.
You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. So she's filling him up. This Is My Brutality. Of course, she goes running. And bitch goes running up those steps in those heels. I'm like, girl, like.
That was actually pretty impressive.
That was super impressive. Like, I would die.
Because like, how are they going to make this look feasible that she's going to get away?
Like, oh my god. And then she starts glaring, then Rhea starts glaring at Dom, and then she basically like, get in the ring, finish this. And then he basically gets into the ring, turns into Jay's shitty little spear, and then Cole on commentary goes, Jay spears him straight through his dark heart of dirty Dom. And then, of course, he goes up, Uso splash, 1, 2, 3. Jay pins him. And then Jay looks at Rhea and does what I do. And it's like, call me. And so I was like, So then it does the same and just kind of ends. You don't see, I think you see Rhea walking up. You don't really see where Dom is. At this point, again, commercial, they cut backstage. Dom is walking back, I guess through Gorilla backstage to the clubhouse. And of course, Priest comes out and he's like, you lost in front of Rhea, huh? That's rough. And he's like, speaking of, and then Rhea comes into shot. And then Priest walks away and she's like, Dom, let's get something straight. I don't belong to anyone. I'm not yours, you're mine. And she hands him a rose, and she walks off. So it's like, bum, bum, bum. Does she forgive him? Does she not forgive him? Or she'd be like, well, little boy, like, mommy belongs to no one, but, like, you belong to me, not Liv. And he has a smile on his face.
Yeah. So it begs the question, who will Dom Mysterio side with? Will you go with Liv Morgan?
I don't know what Dom could... No, I think no matter what Dom does, he's going to get booed. If he goes to Liv, it's like, boo, you hurt mommy. And then if you go with mommy, it's like, boo, you're not good enough for mommy. So Dom's a lose-lose regardless.
Dom's a loser.
But it's at the point do you break up Rhea and Dom? Like, how long have they been together at this point? 2022?
Yeah, probably. How long is the Judgment Day being together?
Well, when did Edge leave? They kicked him out. Was it two Manias ago?
Not sure.
Think, again, correct us in the comments down below. But is that a point that, like, maybe you break this up? Or is there still... I still think there's mileage left in it right now. But by the end of the year...
I don't know. I'm not sure. I really don't have a thought on where it goes. Because Dom could end up... I think Dom and Carlito will probably be together at some point in time. If he's still around within the next year. Or
does Carlito stay with Finn and JD? Because he's kind of... That's what... I know Dom kind of brought him in because he turned on LWO, but I feel like he's been with Finn and JD more. But is he just more of a neutral party?
No, he's just there.
Cool.
He's just kind of there.
Again, I really love the one-liners from him. Like, JD's face in the back of all these shots is hysterical. When he was like, oh, I just want to, show everyone that you're mine. And JD was like his facial expressions through all this has been the best. With his big old head.
Yeah. Well, JD, I think Carlito's been the best out of all this.
Again, this has been Chef Kiss segments this whole time.
Yeah, no, we've enjoyed it. If at the very least, it's kept it going. And what I really liked about Raw specifically was that, everything led in. Like, you had hour 1 was Judgment Day, hour 2 was some of the Wyatt stuff, hour 3 was Judgment Day and the Wyatts, and you combine it all together. It's such a nice flow to it. So,
then all the other segments that weren't that had to do with it. Like when you had, I love that promo of Selena Vega going off on Sonya Deville, Shayna, and Zoe. But she's like, oh, I'm going after the belt. And they're like, no, you have to get through us first. So it's like, Selena had the match the other last 2 weeks, and she's like, well, I still want to get there. And then it's like your main storylines, but your secondary lines are still orbiting around that. Like, it doesn't seem so jarring that nothing kind of flows or makes sense or is maybe tied together.
Right.
So again, this is one of my favorite Raws in a very long time.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're under an hour to SmackDown. So, and SmackDown last week, just some quick had some really good moments. We saw Randy Orton take the bullet, so to speak, the powerbomb for Cody Rhodes. So I expect to see some of that tonight. So it's going to be really interesting what's going to evolve. We'll probably I'm expecting more next week's show will probably be a little bit more Bloodline heavy, maybe SmackDown heavy as we go into the final weeks before SummerSlam.
2 weeks, baby.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks away from SummerSlam. So the build up is coming. So we want to hear from all you. Let's open up. You ready to open up the phone lines? Find it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. right, ladies and gentlemen, phone lines are open. If you want to chime in, call in, feel free. First up, ladies and gentlemen, I know he loves Dominic Mysterio more than anybody. Say his name and he appears. Steven!
Good evening, everybody.
What are you drinking? What are you thinking, Steve?
What am I thinking? Well, as you can see by my avatar today, I'm starting a movement.
Listen, you need to lay off Dom Mysterio and his love triangle.
It's nothing to do with Dom. Just if your company's name is Purdue and you make chicken nuggets, there should be actual chicken in the nuggets. I'm sorry. I'm a snob that way.
At least gave you
Yeah. But as far as this storyline goes, I would like to. Yeah, I know I've said before I'm no fan of love triangle storylines in wrestling, but I mean they're gonna be there anyway. But I'd like to see them stretch this out some way to a final blow off match at Mania if they can find a way to do so. You know, long term storytelling.
Because you stretch it out to WrestleMania. Then.
Yeah, I don't know because I'd be at a loss at how to do it past Survivor Series, but I think it can be done. I think Liv wins at SummerSlam with help. Sorry, Lisa. And then that starts some mixed tag matches between either Finn and Liv or Dom and Liv, and Damian and Rhea. And they can go off that for a while. And if they could put somewhere a match between Rhea and Dom, that would be great because Chyna and Eddie had matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just get it to Mania, and that's where you put the stipulation is the match at Mania. I don't know what Hell in a Cell, Dominic on a pole, who knows? But get it to that.
Yeah, I think like maybe it's Dom's special guest referee. I really feel like some sort of like involvement where he's got to like count the pin. Yeah. Or like not guest enforcer, no, or maybe it gets to the point, like to your point, if you want to stretch it out to Mania, one way you could help stretch it out is like do you have Finn and JD on one side? Well, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it's dumb. It's not even. Never mind. Math is hard. No,
Well,
even. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if Priest so dominant as a former world champion that he could stand up to him, and yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. Yeah, I think you could get there and find a way to incorporate like.
But at this point, you only have one Raw before SummerSlam. I mean, it's not like they haven't done this, but I don't think they would just throw a stip in and not be able to promote it for a couple weeks beforehand. I could be wrong. I know they've done it.
They got such bad blood.
Again, my birthday, we're all gonna watch Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley in a cage and eat pretzel.
Not impossible. That would be something.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I guess it's a good point. So
it's too early.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. Steve, second shot. What do you got there? Second drink.
Well, hey, if the rumors I was seeing today are accurate, welcome to the Motor City Machine Guns.
I actually read that last week, believe it or not, that there was rumors. I was going to talk about this on here because, that they're bringing him in. And you know what's interesting is like with all the crossovers, I think it'd be really funny if like now they send Motor City Machine Guns back to
TNA.
Yeah, just for the hell of it. They're like, oh yeah, hey, we're gonna give you a talent exchange. We're gonna give you back the exact talent that we got.
That'd be great. Yeah, we're glad you finally officially joined us after all these years. Screw you. Go back to Impact.
Exactly. Your first match will be a tag team title match on Impact.
Yeah. No, their first match should be DIY post an open challenge at SummerSlam and out come the Machine Guns.
I agree. I
That would be
actually think
beautiful.
that it's
That would
good.
be
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's what they're headed towards, is that DIY is such a great tag team that they're gonna end up somehow, some way, next week. Or no, yeah, like they're gonna be the first challengers, and they're not going to NXT. They're going straight to main, and I love it.
Yeah, there's no need to put him in NXT. I know they did that with Finn and with Nakamura and with Samoa Joe. They don't really need to do that anymore. Not with 15, 20-year wrestling veterans.
That's my concern. Because I feel like early Black and Gold, like Finn coming, it was like Finn and Shin and everyone kind of going through was like, all right, you're gonna learn how to do WWE style, and then you're gonna go to me. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's Alex Shelley who already did some guest coaching, and then him and Kushida did the time splitter thing on NXT for a hot minute, right? It's Alex Shelley, not the other one.
Yes. Saban, Shelley was there.
Absolutely.
Saban never joined.
Right. So there's also then I'm worried that they might be NXT bound. And there's also, do you put those more veteran people on NXT to help build up the kids of NXT? And I'm also worried, kind of how when AJ's debut was a little sketch, that you have these people that have such history in TNA and Ring of Honor and all these other places. That it's like, oh my God, we are so excited for the motion, I can't talk today. Motor City Machine Guns, alliteration. Like, are the Fed E kids going to give a shit about this crazy good tag team from the odds?
They will. Well, they won't have the reputation coming in, I don't think.
Yeah, but look at poor DIY who had all the credit in the world.
Look at the Good Brothers from New Japan.
But that's different. I'm saying DIY is NXT, is WWE. They grew up.
No,
through there.
Right, but you're talking about more like, will anyone care because they're outside of same thing with the Good Brothers. It's the same situation, right? Like it's very much.
No one cares about the Good Brothers.
Right, that's what they have to get around. Is like they're gonna essentially be world-renowned tag team that gets brought to the WWE, and at the end of the day, they're gonna still have to have to put banger after banger on in WWE to get recognized.
I'm excited, but I'm not.
And I think part of what's going to help with the transition and why they're more likely not to need a stint in NXT is half of the match producers are old TNA colleagues.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus AJ's still there. I know he's got some time off, but there's plenty of resources to get him up to speed for what the main roster does fairly quickly, I would think. If they want,
they're more open to different styles now, and more the Japanese, the stronger, the snugger styles, right? Like and a little bit more risky moves, I would say.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, but the Machine Guns versus DIY, that's the match I want to see.
No, for sure. Yeah. If we can get that at SummerSlam, that would be phenomenal. Or maybe the Hardys come back at SummerSlam too.
No.
Not impossible. Yeah.
But I would rather see the Guns than the Hardys for sure. But
yeah.
Who knows? Steve, last shot before we let you go.
Well, a couple of quick ones. First one, what kind of international champion allows himself to be murked by a 6-year-old girl in the middle of the match?
Oh, we did that. I didn't like it.
It was
like, it's like, nah, fella, no.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. It just I get it. He was going for like a cute moment.
Yeah.
In the moment, but
it sends the wrong message, and I really don't like it.
Yeah, and that is also the first time I've seen somebody using an oxygen mask at the end.
I think so. Nikki said this. He's been doing it a lot, apparently. Like
he's done it before. I didn't say a lot. I said he's done it.
Well, a lot more than.
He's done the oxygen. Jesus Christ, I cannot talk today, and I really haven't drinking that much. He's done that spot before of him getting the mask on. But him getting up to celebrate a lot is different.
Maybe it's nitrous oxide.
Because I love this shot. This is like the only shot that's been circulating. But like,
God.
But,
He looks like the leprechaun from that movie in that shot.
The leprechaun?
From the leprechaun?
From the leprechaun movies.
Yeah, the leprechaun from Leprechaun.
That movie scared the crap out of me because it was just, yeah. And like the one scene where he reaches through the phone. Oh, that's scary. Ooh. But anyway, Steve, it's a pleasure as always.
Yep.
You, sir,
just quick note, should be encouraging for all of us that Keith Richards outlived Richard Simmons. Thank you, everybody.
Steve, this is how we know we have to cut you off.
Oh my God.
Well, the lines are open and we've got.
I'm staying away from that with the technical, Steven. I love you, but Lordy.
But Nikki, but the lines are open. We got another caller, so let's bring him in, ladies and gentlemen. Not new to the show, Bobby Midnight. Bobby,
hey, how you doing, Nikki and Nick?
How you doing?
I'm telling you, that guy sounds like a person I know.
Who?
Steve.
Oh, Steve.
I still he sounds like Green Bean. I'm telling you right now. If he shows his face, that has to be Green Bean.
I don't know if he's like the AEW devil. You're just never gonna. I don't know if we're ever gonna see his face. He changes.
I know his voice. That's Green Bean's voice. I'm telling you right now.
We've heard a lot of mysteries about who is Steven. And
well, I think it's Green Bean. But
yeah.
he's coming on soon. He's coming back for the Jets talk, so he should be around soon. I'm waiting for mommy to kick Dominic's butt. I want her to kick that boy's butt all over the place. I think she'd be able to kick that little boy all over the place, you know.
You're team mommy. You've been team mommy. You called in, and you're not a Dom fan, Bobby.
No, I think he's a dummy. He treats his dad like crap all the time, and he stinks. And I think that blonde hair girl, my girl,
Liv.
What's her name?
Liv Morgan.
Yeah, Liv Morgan is after Priest. I think that's going to happen.
You think there's your girl, Liv.
Yeah. Oh my God! Look how pretty she is. Oh.
Right. Very, very pretty. Beautiful.
Yes, very pretty. Yes.
Right. She's going to compliment her with a lady present. So.
Yeah, she's going after.
Very beautiful.
She's going after, you know who? Priest.
You think she's going after Priest? Why? Because Priest is the world heavyweight champion?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think she had enough of Dommy. Who cares about little Dommy? Let's get the big boy. She wants the big boy. She wants Papa. We don't need little boy. We need Papa. Not him. Yep. So the other one is getting very interesting. The guy, you know, what's his name? Bo Dallas and that crew.
Oh, yeah.
I want them all to come out at one time. That would be awesome.
So they kind of did in the beginning, right? They came out the first week and they were together, and we kind of saw a little bit of that on Raw.
Yeah, but I want them to stay in the ring, and then Gable comes out and they scare the stink out of him. Who are those other two people that he had protecting him? Who are those people?
So to the left, top left. So the rabbit, rambling rabbit, is Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
With the hammer. The left is Joe Gacy with the pig mask. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah.
Abby the witch, or the woman, is Nikki Cross.
Oh, that's Nikki Cross?
Yeah. Do you remember her?
Oh, I know her. Yeah, she's crazy. She used to drive that car, right? Was that her?
Nikki Cross.
You know, am I thinking
the tank, a little tank?
Yeah, okay, maybe I got that wrong.
Shotzi.
Oh, that's Shotzi. Okay, sorry about that. But who the Gable guy? Who did he get to protect him? Those two guys.
So the Creed brothers?
Oh, those are the Creed brothers. Oh, I didn't know that. So I don't like him at all. I don't like Cable at all. I think he's an idiot. I think he should get beat up. Somebody come out and destroy him.
But you
The
don't
other
think he's
one,
a good wrestler, Bobby?
Oh,
You know,
what?
you don't think Chad Gable's a good wrestler, though?
I think he cheats a lot. I think he stinks.
Well, he does cheat a lot, but, you know.
Yeah, but I like it. And then I go, you ask what the best match of the year was? Cody Rhodes. Definitely.
Cody
hands down.
Rhodes. See, Bobby agrees. Bobby
Yeah,
is.
not anything for me, WI. That was kind of dumb match. Looked like I didn't watch that match. I watched the WrestleMania though.
The MJ, it's very good. It's different. It like again to Nikki's point, it's a different style.
Yeah.
You see more more athleticism, but
Less talking.
yeah, it's less storytelling in the matches.
Yeah.
And more like hard hitting blows
I'm
and
just gonna
spots.
hit you as hard as I can.
Because WWE likes to talk a lot, before and then the other stuff they just get to it right away.
Mhm.
Where is Oh, I'm thinking. What's your dog's name again? What letter?
Jay.
Jackson.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Bobby.
Is it really Jackson? Where is he?
I see if I can turn, and then you can see.
There he is. He's
He's
sleeping.
sleeping on the couch.
Oh, he's tired. He had a long day.
Yeah,
He's so
listen,
cute. I
that's
like
awesome.
Jackson.
Put him in his
He's a
sleep.
good kid. Good dog.
He loves Friday nights because he gets fed a little early. So he's
Oh, that's why. Oh, you get on. Okay, gotcha. Well,
so Jackson's
it's
probably
happy.
the number one fan of the show.
It's happy hour for him too, right?
Exactly.
Well, you guys are doing awesome. I gotta tell you, you're doing A+
Thank you very
job.
much. Well,
Yes.
it's always a pleasure having you on, Bobby. Before we let
Well,
you go, any last shots? Any last thoughts?
Well, I come back next Friday for you guys. I'm always here for you guys.
Always a pleasure. Well, we love having you, Bobby.
Love it.
I love being here. It's fun.
Absolutely. Well, happy Friday, Bobby. We'll catch you next time.
Okay, I gotta get into AEW so I can talk about
yeah,
that too.
I know. We'll talk.
Okay, we'll see you later. Bye now.
Thanks, Bobby.
Bye, Bobby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight. Cut off. Through material. Always a fun experience. The Bobby Steven investigation continues, and this is going to be a never-ending saga.
My cheeks hurt.
Until Steven, who is Steven? No one will know. It's the investigation.
Need Chad Gable to break the biggest mystery of the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour ever. To find out who is the real identity of Steven.
Well, someone whose identity is easily identifiable. Lisa knows.
I know.
Say his name and he appears.
He's actually been knock on wood. He's been very good.
Yeah, we're trying not to.
I was worried when I had it. So Nick bought all these fancy lights, and the lights have to go into your USB port, and it completely drained my battery. And it was like you have 6 minutes, and I was like, oh crap! It's like I have to go run upstairs, and it's like me running up the stairs and come back and like. So next week I will bring all the chargers and all the things.
I know. We'll be more prepared.
Because again, leaving you for 30 seconds to talk about MJF was.
But we got through it. We did great. I think we did great.
You're great, babe. I love you.
Well, it's always a fun one. Another fun one where, as we were 35 minutes out of SmackDown here, always a pleasure chatting with you all.
Snacks, take yourself out, take your dog out, get your DVRs ready.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. What's going to happen with the Bloodline saga tonight? That'll be really interesting. Bloodline Cody saga. Is there any other developments in the Well, DIY's defended the tag titles, so that's gonna be an interesting.
Apparently,
Jade.
Tiffy tried to cash in. Like, of course, tried to cash in during one of the house.
Yes, that's
house show. So I wonder if she's gonna be kind of like Carmella, that she comes out, she's like, I'm and she's like, and then runs away.
Does Randy Orton show up tonight? Probably not.
I know he hears voices.
Oh God.
Dude has to get in the line, Ed.
There you go. And Darby Allin sucks. Cover it, Ed. In honor of Ed not being around tonight, but hopefully next week.
He's working.
So we are back next Friday. 9 + 7 is the 26th. So mark your calendars, 6 p.m. It's always Friday at 6.
It's always
Eastern.
Friday.
Eastern.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Just the way you said it made me laugh.
I mean, what are you gonna do? But we love having you. Let's talk wrestling, WWE, AEW. We'll talk Impact. We'll talk if you want to talk to Japan. It seems like Ed always loves to talk indie wrestling.
Some random indie from Arkansas.
Exactly. So
we're here for it. We support all wrestling.
Exactly.
Support all good wrestling.
You never know who's gonna call in. Exactly.
Never know.
Could be Crowbar, could be Drew Anderson, could be Zoe Sky, could be whoever. Zach Ruby.
Oh, Zach! I hope he has his beard.
Well, we'll never know if he doesn't call.
We'll never know if he's not showing me his face.
But it's been a fun one. Until next time, get your snacks, get everything ready. But you don't have to go home.
But you can't stay here. Bye.